Welcome to Canon Fodder Diecast, episode 14.
So, we're going to start the episode with a very brief conversation about dump stats. And a dump stat in D&D is the stat that you are willing to take the biggest hit on in order to build the character that you want to build. And for different kinds of players, that's going to be a different stat depending kind of on their play styles and on their own kind of interest. So I thought it would be kind of interesting to hear from the three of you, what is your preferred dump stat?
Well, considering Leaky's character, and I mean, this is really the first character I have put so many hours of gameplay into, my definite dump stat here was charisma.
How's that working out for you?
Not well.
But even Longshanks Happy Pants wasn't that bright.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think you have a pattern.
Maybe. I'm never the charismatic player.
You're never the brightest player.
No, because my wisdom's usually always low, too.
Yeah. Does that just match your play style, or?
I think it matches his life.
Yeah, I'm not very charismatic in real life. But,
I know those glasses are doing a whole lot of good for you.
I guess it does because I don't, I'm more of a physical player. I mean, even in video games and stuff like that, I'm always the melee player.
Tank.
Yeah, I'm always the tank.
What about you, Jen?
My biggest one is probably always Constitution. I don't know why.
You don't like being alive?
No.
You stole my joke.
I guess the same thing carries over. How's that working out for you?
That or strength. I mean, those are always my lowest because I'm like the polar opposite. I'm never the melee type person. I like to, as you can see in Caesarea, walk up, shank them, walk away.
And when in the character that you played before we started this set,
cleric.
it was the cleric, and that was the same thing. It was
Yep.
dexterity heavy, because even then, I don't think you were much of a battle cleric. You were like,
Oh,
from
you
a
need to be
distance.
healed. We're good.
You were squishy.
Very. Always step my way.
So in that, because you played 3.5 or 4.0, right? Was it the same way there?
Yep.
Gotcha.
A lot of it was rogues and hunters and beast mastery. I'm the same way when I played World of Warcraft, when I played ESO. I'll play ESO. I don't want to be up front in the middle of everything. That's why I have Kyle. I use him the same way in ESO. I'm like, here, you're going to go be a tank.
Yep. Pretty much.
And you're just happy to charge it because you got such a low charisma and wisdom that you don't know that you got the short end of the stick.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about you, Linz?
So for me, this character is actually quite a bit different. Usually I play a magic caster. And so I usually have higher charisma and higher intelligence and wisdom. But with this character and with this group, they're afraid of magic casters. So when creating a character that would fit well with this group, I ended up going with a paladin. So I have a much higher strength and dexterity and constitution than I do wisdom and intelligence, which is a lot different for me.
Because you played warlocks in the past.
Yeah, warlocks, sorcerers. I haven't done a wizard yet. I still can't get my head around all of the rules with wizards.
To be fair, Leaky is not afraid of magic. He just doesn't like it.
Yeah, but especially when I first came into the game, you were much more against it. And now it seems as a character you are evolving. So it makes it a little bit different.
Yeah.
At this point, if I came in, maybe you wouldn't hate me quite as much if I were a magic caster.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Although our Christmas adventure kind of took a couple steps back with that.
That's true. I think that we all were a little bit overwhelmed with the Christmas magic that we experienced during that campaign.
Okay, well, if you have a different dump stat, then feel free to shout us out on Twitter or on the YouTube pages where the episodes get posted. We'd be curious to hear what you have to say and why you think we're wrong.
Well, we're posting it on the internet, so of course we're wrong. So.
All right, ready to play?
Ready, set, roll for initiative.
Okay, so to recap, from episode 13, you guys discovered that Robert Gray is some sort of murderous clown demon that was living in the sewers below the Blackgate district of Baldur's Gate, which are two separate things we established. You found out where a bunch of the missing persons in Blackgate went. They signed on to the Dragon Cult. And you also discovered that the Dragon Cult has been taking crates that were coming up from the Greenfields area where we started the campaign, shipping them to Baldur's Gate, and then switching the crates to crates logoed with that red dragon mark, and then shipping them out to who only knows where. And at the very end of the episode, you guys got hired on to work as caravan guards going north to Waterdeep. That sound familiar?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. So this is episode 14. You have been hired by Arkrin Uyelton, who is a human male merchant. He owns 3 of the 6 caravans that will be heading out in the morning. And you have, your weapons have been silvered, you're all ready. Leaky is healed up as he's going to get, although most of his body hair is gone for now.
Silky smooth.
And you're going to spend about 40 days on the road traveling north. So your objective for this mission, according to Anthar Froome and also the other, the people who are resisting the Dragon Cult, is to search for and probe the Dragon Cult. You know that at least some of the people on this caravan are cultists and that they have some of the cargo. The issue, though, that you need to keep in mind is that if you attack them openly and decide to just kill them, you're going to lose the trail. You don't know where they're going ultimately. So you have the very weird task of having to rubber band these people, basically. You can't get too close and you can't get too far, and you can't attack them, but you also can't leave them alone, which is going to make this particularly difficult as you travel the wilderness. So at any time you can ask me for some information about the various wagoneers. I got notes on a handful of NPCs. Generally, they're all people who keep to themselves. And as you leave behind the high walls and the busy streets of Baldur's Gate, the caravan rumbles and rackles along the coastway, generally northeast. And the weather as you set out is sunny, it's cloudless, it's the first fresh air you've had since you entered Baldur's Gate from the south. And you notice that the other caravanners don't seem particularly happy or at ease. In fact, later in the day, it becomes more and more likely for you to see somebody glaring suspiciously at the low hills ahead or sharpening a knife quietly on their lap. You must be heading towards something.
I ask one of the people sharpening their knives why we're sharpening knives, and if I should sharpen mine.
We're not supposed to be getting near them.
Well, it's not that everybody is
Oh.
a dragon cultist. It's that some of them are. There's 6 wagons. You don't know who's who.
Well, me being a rogue and wanting to make sure that mine are nice and poisoned and yada yada, then
Fair enough. So the shield dwarf female that you're talking to, sharpening her knife, kind of like looks up at you with one suspicious eye, and she says, "I've made this trip several times before, and every time we always run into trouble in the Fields of the Dead, which is the region that you're rolling into now. It's just haunted by brigands, and it's just a bad place. It's got a bad feeling to it, and it puts people on edge."
so we should all be on edge, considering this is our first trip with this group.
She says that anybody who moves through the Fields of the Dead without their steel bared is a fool, probably won't leave. So then she starts telling you like her war stories of caravans past. She gets really into the telling.
Well, she is a dwarf.
Yeah. Stories, man.
Yeah. Does she break out into song?
No.
Jesus.
Oh.
No song.
Oh.
A low chant at one point. So if you have no other questions for the caravanners, if you don't want to do anything else here, we have to kind of fill these rules out together.
So is there any way we can get information for you guys? Is there any way we can get information on anybody that we are currently looking, like, that we're trying to track? Because we're trying to track the cultists, correct?
Yes, you're trying to figure out who they are so that when you know when to follow them.
So, I would like to prompt her in some way and say, like, something along the lines of, "So I hear there are dragon cultists about."
And she looks at you askance and she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean dragon cultists? Where?"
Leaky walks up to Corey, grabs her by the arm, and yanks her down to his level and says, "Way to be subtle," and lets her go.
I say, "I was just curious, because in my religion, we try to convert such people. and it is our mission to bring people to the power of Tyr.
She, like, nods her head slowly, and she's like, right. You must come from some weird exotic place in the world to just out and out talk about conversion like that.
It is an open place with much more acceptance and loyalty.
She, like, nods and keeps sharpening her knife. The wagons rumble on.
Leaky glares.
Do you guys want to roll perception checks so you can find out?
Probably.
Look at, like, this part of the campaign is really, really poorly written.
Okay.
If we're being honest. So you need to ask questions. I
Okay.
can't tell you a story because it doesn't exist in the book.
Okay.
You have to be active, really active questioners here.
Okay, so perception checks.
Yes. This is why I was so stressed about this part.
So I got a 16.
Okay. So as you look around, blushing slightly because Leaky pointed out the fact that you almost blew your cover before you even got like 20 minutes out of the town, you realize that all of the wagons are covered. So it's not going to be easy to distinguish which one has dragon cargo in it, if any. And on top of that, everybody's wearing traveler's clothes. So it's all gray and black and brown woolens. So they're not wearing their outfits, you know. So you're going to have to be paying close attention as you go. But it definitely looks like if they're there, they're hiding, and they're hiding well.
This is a multi-day caravan, correct? Like our trip?
It's a 40-day caravan.
Okay. So,
40 days of me not being able to beat the crap out of Leaky.
well, I mean, I don't know how they feel about beating of people in this realm, but
Fight Club.
you might be able to get money for it.
For beating Leaky?
Maybe.
Okay, what other questions would you guys have about the caravan as you set out?
Ow!
So, are there any other places of concern other than the Field of the Dead?
Are you just asking in general? Or are you asking other NPCs?
Let's ask a different NPC.
Okay. So you guys are riding. You got horses, correct?
Mhm.
I think you had horses when you came to Baldur's Gate.
Yes.
Okay, so we're
We-
assuming you moved them.
We did.
I can walk.
We got our
No
horsey.
difference, right?
I'm a Goliath, so
Yeah.
Let me rephrase. He has a pony because he's too little for a horse.
We forgot to do my dexterity
Wait,
check to make sure.
Roll
I
your
can
pony
do that.
riding check.
Woo!
Success.
You can jump on the pony.
Okay, so
Worst comes to worst, she can always throw you on the pony.
So Corey strides up to another human male who's riding a big black horse, and he looks at you, but doesn't say anything.
I ask him, is there anything that we should be careful of on the trail?
He starts laughing and he says, "The spiders."
What about the spiders?
He just howls with laughter and kicks his horse and rides away from you.
Oh, good.
Yay.
So one of the things I would like to do also is at night I have a spell called Misty Step. So I believe I can sneak up to people a little bit easier, and I know that Jenn is also good at sneaking up on people. So we
Leaky
should-
is not.
Sometimes I am.
Well, I mean, you have good dexterity. You've good dexterity though.
Yeah, I
so
have
you
a stealth bonus
decent-
of 5.
Yeah, yours is still pretty good. I don't think my stealth bonus is good, but I have the spell. So I
Okay.
think that maybe I'm almost wondering if we should wait until night and then when everybody has stopped moving, so that we can sneak through and look at things.
Okay, there's a
Eavesdrop?
possibility. Okay, so then if you've got no other questions, you're going to leave the other NPCs alone for now. Then as the day courses, you eventually find camp next to a river, and you make a simple short camp with the wagons circled around, and you guys are basically able to go to sleep. You don't have any duties this first night.
Yay!
Okay.
And Leaky's an outlander, so that means he's able to provide food for all of you and then some others. Kind of
Up
automatically.
to 6 people.
Okay, well there's like 12, so
The other 6.
The rest of them have to fend for themselves.
you're making it easy on the caravan in general, which is going to earn you some goodwill because you're going to provide fresh food, so that's a good thing.
Kobold.
As you're breaking camp, Cesare, you do notice that the silent one that was laughing at Corey, he is tending a gargoyle that's in the back of his wagon, and it's attached to the wagon by a slim silver chain. It's just a weird thing you see.
I would like to go. How many wagons are there?
6.
There are 6 in total. I would like to go up to. Is everybody sleeping or awake? I'm sorry. One more
They're
question.
doing various tasks. Some go right to sleep. Some are eating. Some are sitting around talking.
Okay, so I'm going to wait until most people are asleep before I do my action.
Okay.
I'm going to go talk to the guy with gargoyle
Okay. He kind of looks at you with like big, heavy, brooding eyes as you walk up.
Is that little chain gonna keep the gargoyle attached to the caravan, or is
He,
it
like,
gonna fly
Picks
off?
it up on his finger and like tosses it and goes, "It's silver."
Are gargoyles like does silver hurt them if they?
He laughs at you and he says, "It's silver."
So as the magic caster group, I go and tell. I turn to Cesario and I say, silver is able to help control some magical properties, or some magical creatures.
It's silver.
But
So-
silver is also a very pliable metal.
They can't fight.
He's not an alchemist, so
They can't fight against. Usually, silver is one of those things in magical types of.
So as Corey is trying to explain the
Yeah.
alchemical properties of silver to Cesaria, you hear shouting over Corey, "Beer! Beer here! Get your ale! Beer!
Oh god.
Beer here!" And you just realize that one of the wagons has unfolded itself into a mobile beer cart.
Well, we know where Leaky.
So Leaky goes waddling across the camp, flailing his arms, and he is introduced to
Hi.
Bade Sheppel, who is a male half-elf merchant, and he's just calling for beer. He serves beer.
Beer, please.
That'll be 1 silver piece.
It's expensive beer.
It is expensive beer, but it's only beer on the road. Go dry or go home.
Fair point. Beer.
He gives you one very large horn of beer. And he goes, "So what's your story, my friend?" And he polishes his horns. He's a bartender, man. He's got to work with what he's got.
What do you mean, what's my story?
Where are you from?
Places?
Well, that's not very specific.
I've never lived anywhere specific.
All right, fine. Beer? Beer, could you bear here? Al? He starts yelling over your head.
Rude.
You could have asked him about everybody else.
Didn't get a chance to.
Go back and talk to him, Leaky.
And he goes,
You
"Want
like
beer?"
I will go up and get beer.
Okay, that's 1 silver piece for a beer.
Okay.
He's got several big casks of beer and some casks of booze and wine with him too. So this is his mobile beer cart. His name is Bade.
Okay. So I buy a beer from him.
All right. He gives you your horn of beer.
I say, "Have you done this caravan trip more than? Or is this your first caravan trip, or have you done this many times?"
He nods knowingly. I've done this dozens of times. He loves it. He loves the road. He especially likes making beer off people, or making money off people on the road who want beer but don't have any because there aren't any bars around.
He makes beer off people?
Yes, he does.
Weird.
Yeasty.
Leaky looks at his cup.
So he's done this
Squeezes them
particular run many times, and it's a lucrative but strange business proposition. But he is very friendly.
I would like to also ask him. So as you know, we are newcomers. Are there any other newcomers on this trip?
He looks back and forth, and he says that shield dwarf Eldkin, she's been around forever, and of course Arkrin, the guy who owns it, the proprietor, he's always running it. But there are a couple other guards that he recognizes, but for the most part, the non-guards are all new. So the shield dwarf is a guard.
Do all of these people take the entire trip on the caravan?
Some of them get off at Daggerford, he says, which is where he'll sell this special cask of special wine, and he like rubs it gently. And other people go all the way up to Waterdeep, and occasionally they go farther north from Waterdeep. But this caravan will end in Waterdeep.
Why is that cask of wine so special?
Well, it's vintage.
Leaky doesn't know what that means. Leaky, that means it's very old and very special and has special, like, aged properties.
And Bade's like, "Oh, wine connoisseur." We don't run into those on the road.
I'm vintage.
No, you're broken
Oh.
and old.
But you just said vintage means...
If
That's
aged-
antique, my friend.
that's
Antique.
aged properly, you've just been beaten around. You're kind of that old scrappy thing that not a lot of people want to be around.
Wait, hold up. How old is Leaky?
He's in his hundreds.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think dwarves lived that long.
Yeah, they live a long time.
200 to 300 years.
Look at those elves.
Them too.
Good God.
I'm
Them too.
pretty sure.
You've learned so little in all that time. That
Pretty
wisdom
sure.
dump stab, man.
Okay.
So he says that generally what ends up happening is that towards the end of the season you get these slightly bigger caravans where there's more people trying to get up to Waterdeep or between the major cities, and so it's hard to keep track of who's new and who's not new.
Have
Dwarves can live to be more than 400 years old.
Duly noted.
have you talked to any other newcomers?
Not yet. He says that generally this is a pretty quiet bunch. It looks to him like people are probably just going to stay in their clumps for the entire trip.
Mm-hmm.
But beer, get your beer here. He's hoping to get some more customers.
Kind of feels like we're in high school and we all have little cliques.
He never went to high school, so.
Well, that sucks.
What's
for
a
you.
high school?
Leaky, shut up and go learn your words. Go learn your letters.
He opens the box with the blocks in it, and they're still just blank.
I go over to Leaky and I start with A. This is an A.
One of the blocks suddenly has a rune on it.
So
a
as you guys,
dwarvish rune for A.
just for A. Yay, I've mastered the one. So as you stand there drinking and talking to Bade, there's a really tall male human guard that walks up. When I say really tall, I mean he's still not quite as tall as Corey. So he's really tall compared to everybody else, and he buys an ale from Bade, and he introduces himself as Celestig.
Tall for a
They call him
human?
the Pole. Yeah, tall for a human for sure. He says his name is Celestig the Pole. He looks a little different. He's darker skinned than people usually are around here. He just kind of listens in. He's happy to see that there's more guards. He thinks you guys look capable.
Should I take offense to that?
No?
So I introduce myself and say that I am Corey Gothic Anathi, Worm Crusher.
Nice.
So what is your purpose on this trip?
He is just a guard, and he's going to winter over in Waterdeep where the brothels are full and the taverns are even more full. Grammar's not a strong suit.
He'll go along with Leaky.
So has he been on these trips frequently?
This is his 6th season. So
Have you noticed anything different about this caravan trip?
people look more miserable than usual, but then again, they've had a lot of people going north from Greenest in that area because of all the bandits down there. So it's been a particularly busy season.
I tell him, I'm surprised you don't go try to get work down there. It sounds like they need some guards.
They don't need guards, they need soldiers. Where are you guys from?
Don't guards turn into soldiers when you...
So I actually think I have an answer for this one.
I'm from places.
And Bade's like, yeah, that's what he said before. I don't know if he knows where he came from. They just figured out that he's actually way older than everybody seemed to think. He may have forgotten it. Maybe amnesiac.
I say to him, I am from a land far, far away, with much different ways than this one. I am from the mountains.
Nice. He's impressed.
And where do you hail from?
He is from the Gold Coast.
Is that near the Golden Tur?
No.
Way to be in character, Kyle. You said that not in
The
Leaky's
Golden-
voice.
Leaky doesn't have a voice.
We agreed not to do voices except for me, where it's ridiculous.
So,
Meh.
I offer that while we're on the trail, I ask, do you need any other help helping to guard this caravan?
Well, that's kind of what we were hired to do.
It's like,
yeah.
Are you going to hire more people on?
I mean, we could, or I'm willing to take on an extra shift.
Okay, he's all for that. He can talk to Eldkin, the shield dwarf. She's the one that's in charge of the shift giving for the guards. So,
Okay.
if you're willing to work more, I don't know if they'll pay you more. You have to talk to Arkrin about that.
Okay.
So,
It would be good if we were able to double up some of our guards or our guarding, just so that we don't have any issues along the trail. These people look desperate because of their anger and misery.
anything else?
No.
I want to go talk to that Elkrin lady.
Okay, Eldkin Agatol, the female shield dwarf. Okay, so you're going to go talk to the female shield dwarf that you talked to before?
Yep.
All right.
Well, Cesaria was not involved in that conversation.
Oh, okay, all right. So you're going to talk to the dwarf in charge of the shifts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what... Is there always at least one guard on at all times?
With 6 caravans, we always have at least one guard patrolling per 2 caravans. So there's always at least 3 people who are up and awake and patrolling. Which is you 3 tomorrow night, correct?
Yes.
So, why?
I just wanted to make sure that there was always one person up and awake.
Oh yeah, being so close to the fields of the dead, we've always got to have people up and aware because you never know what's going to come out of the hills.
So what do you suggest we do to prepare ourselves for the field of the dead?
Naked steel.
Naked steel. No magic?
No, don't attract attention.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if magical weapons would be more useful in this situation.
I mean, it would depend on. She's no witcher, but it would depend on specifically what kind of monsters or danger that you encountered.
Well, her being someone who's been through the fields a few times, you might think she knows who, or what kind of monsters lurk in the fields.
So she's like, you speak like someone who knows what they're talking about, and then she crosses her arms. But she's like, would you draw a silver blade if it was a bandit, or would you draw a regular steel blade? Or, for example, if a bunch of hobgoblins came running out, would you draw this or that weapon? You just never know with how nasty these hills are. You got to be prepared for any scenario.
Fair enough.
Goliaths. They always just want to smash stuff. She like wanders away.
Crush things, specifically.
All right, whatever, big lady. She just keeps walking. So.
Is Leaky sitting there getting trashed?
I would like to also... Yeah. I would like to go... who is on...
Maybe 3 more silver pieces.
So, I'm going to go back and ask our other friend, who is on duty tonight? Lita,
Celestig, and she is. Eldkin.
So, I would like to go and buy Seedig another drink.
Okay, Celestig.
Or Celestig.
Alright, you're going to go buy him another drink? That'll be a silver piece?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm trying to get him drunk.
While he's on duty.
He's like, duty. Okay, nice.
Because if I'm going to try to sneak around the camp at night, it'd be sure helpful if less of them were as cognizant.
Okay. Alright, so we are going to make Celestic intoxicated. Alright.
And let's go find the other one that's on duty tonight.
So that would be Lita. She's a female human guard. She's just kind of like standing off to the side. She's already at her post.
So we ask her how long she's been doing this for?
A couple years, but she eventually wants to go farther and farther north, and this is hopefully the last time that she has to go back south. She's going to winter in Waterdeep.
Seems like a commonality. Is it nicer up in Waterdeep during the winter other than the brothels and the taverns?
Less bandits.
Fair point.
Baldur's Gate's terrible.
Yeah, I could see that. Do you know anything about this Fields of the Dead that we're coming up to?
They're just unlucky. A lot of kings and armies have been killed here over the years, so it's just a bad place.
And then I ask her, I know we're going to be on duty tomorrow night, and I just want to make sure we're doing it right. What kind of pattern or what kind of structure do we have to guarding?
General circuit route, and you don't ever stand still. Don't look at the fire.
Why not look at the fire?
Night vision.
We Goliaths are mountain people. We see in the dark. Actually, I don't know if we do. I don't think Goliaths do.
No, you don't have dark vision.
I can't see in the dark anyways.
That's a good thing Leaky has 8 torches.
Now we know what to do with them.
So, okay. That was all I had for him.
Okay. So you've made Celestic intoxicated. Great. So it's night. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is asleep.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, all right, let's proceed.
I'm going to do a perception check while I'm sitting there getting trashed.
Okay.
Or while I'm sitting there drinking.
Should you be making it at a disadvantage?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Here, have another D4.
Leaky's idea was to make a perception check while really drunk.
An 11 and
13.
a 12.
Okay. And what are you trying to perceive exactly? What are you looking for? Just weird stuff?
Yeah, trying to see what I can hear, see if I can overhear any odd conversation.
You do hear three human teamsters arguing about some particular crates that seem ridiculously heavy, and they're arguing about whether or not that axle is going to buckle. But they don't know they don't talk about what's in the crates if they do know what's in there. They're saying that they're afraid that the wheel is going to give because of the way that cart's piled.
Then why don't they separate up the boxes between different, spread the weight between the caravans?
You want to go over there and ask them?
I was just getting ready to say I'm going to go over and ask which wagon it is.
Okay. I mean, it's the wagon they're standing near.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
So can we ask him who owns this wagon?
You're not with him.
Who owns this wagon?
That, my friend, that is made at a disadvantage because you are intoxicated.
I follow
We'll call it a
Leaky
raw
over.
charisma check, and
Oh, God.
I think depending on the outcome, it's going to decide if it's persuasion or intimidation.
Oh, not bad.
That's a 12.
It's not too bad. Okay, they say
Stealth of 12. I'm kind of following Leaky, just make sure he doesn't get himself into any trouble. Like, stealthily.
just following him along behind.
Mm-hmm.
They say that one is owned by. They say that this one is owned by Samerdag. He's another male merchant, human male merchant, and he's always like this. He doesn't seem to really care how the stuff that he ships gets treated. It just always gets dumped in, and they always end up having to unpack the wagon several times. And if one of the wheels gives, it's always Samerdag's wheel. So they're aggravated because they don't work for this particular wagon, but they do know that at some point they're going to have to help take it apart and rearrange it.
So is he on the trip as well?
Yes, he's elsewhere at his little campground.
Okay. Leaky staggers away.
Okay. Sorry.
I walk up to the people. So, is everything, like, is this all Samerdag's wagon? Like, why?
Yeah, this is all his stuff.
Then why can't we take some of the heavier stuff and put it in one of the caravans that has the lighter?
Well, it's because it's his stuff.
Oh, I was just saying to prevent a wagon breakage.
They're like, well, I mean, you could talk to him if you want, but they don't seem to be willing to expend the energy to try and explain that to him. They don't work for him. They just know that they'll end up getting called in to help.
Oy.
So they work for a different merchant.
Merchants that don't care, it's the worst. Do you know which camp he's at, so I may go talk to him?
Yeah, they can direct you to him.
I'm gonna take their directions and go.
Okay.
Talk
So
to him.
he is a human male merchant. He's older, got kind of a bent back, got long lanky hair, and he's just sitting by his fire along with a rock gnome, male rock gnome. But they're not talking. They're just kind of sitting, sharing the fire.
Is it Samerdag?
Samerdag.
Samerdag?
Yep.
Hey, Samerdag, why does your wagon look like the wheel's gonna fall off?
He looks at you really suspiciously, and he's like, "Why do you care?
Because then that means the whole caravan has to slow down.
Hasn't happened yet. Why are you worried about it?"
Because I'm one of the guards and I don't want to have to protect it while we put your caravan wagon back together.
That's not a D20.
Try again.
He does not believe you. And he's like, "If you don't leave my stuff alone, I'm going to go talk to the proprietor."
I wasn't touching your stuff. I just wanted to say, you
All right.
know, help you out.
Don't worry about my stuff.
Alright.
Shoo, elf.
Meh.
That's it. I'm going to end that there for tonight because I didn't think we were going to get 20 minutes out of night one. So there's
You should know better than
nothing weird happens in the middle of the night. It's
I can't go
just
search things in the middle of the night.
Oh right.
I made him drunk. I have to use what I can right now.
Okay. So it's nighttime. Everybody is sleeping. Nobody's interrupting me, telling me that they want to go get drunk. Now you wanted to go search the caravan.
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to search. So Cesaria has informed me that Samerdags might be a good place to go check.
Okay.
So I'm going to use Misty Step.
All right. What does that mean?
So Misty Step allows me, briefly surrounded by silvery mist, to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see.
Okay.
So I am going to use this to teleport. Can I see into the wagon or no?
Well, the wagon is covered, so you can teleport up to the back of it.
So I'm going to wait for the moment when the guards have passed,
Okay.
and then I'm going to teleport there.
Let's do this as a stealth check,
Okay.
following with the Misty Step then.
Okay.
To
Let's see, stealth check. Not good for me.
they could be ready to make a distraction if it goes haywire.
Can I do it with advantage since one of them is intoxicated?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you guys ready to make a distraction?
Yes.
Leaky will be a distraction.
All right.
No, Cesaria's ready to
So
be a
should I do that
distraction
instead
because
of
I
doing
have
the advantage?
issues.
We're
against
going to
Leaky
use
right
that to
now.
offset the disadvantage.
Okay.
So.
Oh god. I foresee screaming.
So my higher one is 17.
Okay, that's enough to avoid detection.
Okay.
Oh.
Leaky's stumbling around the darkness with nobody there noticing him.
So I want to go and look through his crates and through his stuff in there.
Okay, so he's got a bunch of crates that are kind of haphazardly piled. They're poorly spread out. You want to just start ripping the crates open? How are you going to do this?
Is there a way to do it without it being like a huge production?
Not really. They're nailed down. You could shake them a little bit, maybe.
You can always check the markings.
So I would like to check the markings. That'd be
All
great.
right, that's an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation check. I got 17.
Okay. Only one crate has that dragon mark on it.
Okay.
And it's jammed up towards the front. So it's not like you could have caught a chance glance at that marking.
I would like to check that crate.
Okay, so in order to get that, you got to make a ruckus and a noise to pull and get it back.
You can always, like, lean out and tell Leaky to go be a loudmouth.
I could do that. So I'm going to... Psst. Go make a distraction. Psst.
Leaky!
Go make a distraction.
I punched Leaky really hard in the shoulder to make him pay attention.
What?
Distraction.
Loud noise.
After Cesaria punches me, I reel back and attempt to punch her back.
Great.
Now there's a fight going on.
Because Leaky's kind of drunk. He forgot what was going on.
Pretty much.
Leaky's kind of stupid.
That's an 8.
Yeah, no.
So you miss, but now there's an all-out, like people noticed, and there's a commotion. Okay, so you're going to do this quickly?
Yes, I'm going to do this
Okay.
quickly.
All
So I'm going to use my greatsword to wedge the top of the crate open.
Okay, and as you pry open the crate, inside you see a bunch of porcelain dishes packed in hay.
I would like to dig in a little bit further.
Okay, more porcelain.
Keep digging.
More porcelain.
Have I hit the bottom yet?
You're like a toilet sales shop here.
Okay. Are they plates or are they containers or what do they look like?
Plates and bowls.
Plates and bowls.
Nicely made, but plates and bowls.
Okay.
Meanwhile, outside, I'm yelling at Leaky to quit being such a drunk dwarf. Whoa!
All right. So I can't think to if there's anything else in this. It could still be a shipment going to this place, but it could just be that they need more plates and bowls.
It could be.
So
Break one of them.
I'm
Oh,
going
get
to
it,
take
Chief.
I'm going to take one plate
Okay.
and I'm going to bring it back.
Okay, so this is probably, hopefully, the only time I have to give you this instruction, but please add one plate to your inventory.
And then I would like to, before I leave, I'd like to put the lid back on the crate.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'd like to put the lid back on the crate.
That's a good thing. And the Diecast collectively have like short-term memory loss and forget to pick things up. Boots.
I have them now.
You should
Hammers.
reorganize while you're in there so that way the wheel isn't gonna fucking fall off on the road.
No, I can't reorganize, they'll know. But I would like to put the top back on because they probably won't notice till they get to wherever they're going.
True. Okay, so you're putting it back into place, and the other commotion's dying down, and you're misty stepping away.
I'm stealthing away.
Okay. There's still a commotion.
Wait,
I'm not
actually-
going to make you do a check
Okay.
on it. So let's end the first night there.
Okay.
For the love of all the
Do
gods.
we get a long rest?
Yes.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes, every night that's not spent fighting will be considered a long rest.
Okay.
Does it count for us considering Leaky tried to hit me?
I mean, what are you going to gain from it?
I don't know. Can always wrap his boot bowl around his neck.
It's not a long rest.
I mean, what do you do with a drunken dwarf?
I'm not a sailor.
You were
Not any time in those like 450 years you've been alive, old man.
I'm only in my mid-hundreds.
You were a sailor for Flint.
So on day 2, the caravanners break camp on a bitterly cold morning, and you wake to find frost covering the ground, and temper's very short as you all pile your gear back into the wagons, and then you head deeper into the hills. As you ride along, you notice that many of the low hills are topped with stone cairns, and around mid-afternoon, Arkrin Uyelton, the merchant proprietor, pulls Corey aside and asks if she would lead her guards to go check out a particular hill.
Okay.
If you don't mind riding out to go check out the hill.
Okay.
All right. It separates you from the caravan temporarily, but riding up to the top of the cairn is easy, if an uncomfortable ride. The wind snaps at your clothes, and the hardy grass grows thinner and thinner until you crown the rise. And there you see 3 cairns arranged in a triangle at the center. A graven stone lies in between the 3 of them, with writing in very ancient worn dwarvish. But more concerning are the remains of a camp, a kicked-over fire, some burned bones, the trampling of many iron-shod feet, a few broken arrows, and some other waste.
So Leaky can read the A's.
There are 2 A's in the sentence. 3 A's in the sentence.
Oh my god.
Does anybody else read dwarvish?
I don't believe I do. I believe I was giant and
No, I never added Dwarvish into this. But I know Common, Elvish, and Extra Language, which was supposed to be Dwarvish because he can't read it.
So can we ask, is there anyone else in the party with us, or is it
It's
just
just
us?
the 3 of you rode up to go check out this hilltop, which...
So I'm going to read and investigate the headstone, you might call it.
Okay, you don't have to roll for a check. You
Oh.
can read it. It says King Lomond and his sons, year of the Grey Summer.
Leaky's gonna hop off his horse.
Is this a check to hop off the horse?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
See if he can land on
manages
his
to
head.
hit the ground. I'll give him that.
Well, no, that's a 13.
Okay.
Is that a deft hop?
That's a deft hop, yeah.
Okay. And now he's gonna
And
investigate.
that, I think, might have to be the episode title, a deft hop.
Instead of a deaf hobbit.
And then I'm gonna do a investigation check of the camp.
Okay.
11.
11 is enough for you to find a human hand amongst the burned bones.
Lunch?
Ugh,
It's been there probably a while.
gross. Where did I go, George? Yeah, that's great. I got an 11 to investigate.
Leaky
Those are
shows
not-
you the hand.
Those are not well-made arrows. The camp is like a day or 2 old.
I would like to investigate the cairns.
Okay.
I got 9.
They're made of stones. They're piled up. They're old. These are very old, weathered stones.
You're the old dwarf. Why don't you investigate the Karens?
So it's Karen, okay? Karen is a woman.
Cairns.
Meh.
I'm gonna do a stoneworks check.
Okay.
Stoneworks history check on the Karen.
Okay.
So plus 6. 19.
It's not our fault that our only
Interestingly, these are not dwarven cairns. These were laid by human hands.
Interesting.
So.
In
Anything else you guys want to do from the hilltop?
In Leaky's eyes, they are.
dwarf. Can we do a overall view of the landscape?
You could. That would be a perception check.
Then I got a 13.
That's not too bad. You can see that the Fields of the Dead go on for a long time. It's marshy and hilly at the same time. The hills tend to be they get high, but they're very steep, or they're very shallow on their sides. So it's very rolling, very misty, gross, bad riding land. And you can see in a couple areas, you can see like crofts and farmhouses out there. A couple broken towers, but they're all far off and they all look abandoned.
I'm going to do a survival check to see if I can find any tracks.
You can see the tracks immediately. They're the tracks of humanoids.
It was frosty. You step in frost, it leaves tracks.
Yeah,
But the camp is 2 days old.
They trampled all over the ground. So this was occupied by a force of at least a dozen.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't need to check for that. That comes free.
Well, I was looking to see if it was goblins or...
Oh. Okay.
I was
see.
trying to figure out
I
what
see.
kind of tracks
I
they
got you.
were.
Okay, yeah, all right, let's do that then. I can tell you more.
That is a 9.
They're man-sized, vaguely, but that means a whole lot in the D&D world.
Is that
So
Survival.
Yeah.
17?
it's enough to tell you that they're humanoid boots, but it's tough to tell what foot would be wearing that boot. It could be a dwarf, or it could be an elf, or a human, or it could be something worse.
Yay.
It could be a traveling band of bards out to battle, for music and justice, or whatever.
Battle of the Bards.
I'm not doing that one-off.
I was waiting. Get some bagpipe music up in here of you playing against
This
yourself.
would be a good place for you just to pipe from the top. Okay, so are you guys ready to go back down to the proprietor and report what it is that you found?
Yes.
I gotta get back on my horse.
All right.
Woo!
Okay.
21.
So he is concerned about there being a camp so close to the road so recently, but since we were unable to discern anything else about them, except that there must have been a dead human up there at some point, there's not really a whole lot he can do. But he does ask you to be on particular guard tonight.
Yay.
Just in case. All right?
Foreshadow much?
Yeah. Well, since you're on guard, what do you want to do tonight?
So I'd like to spend a small amount of time trying to investigate that piece of pottery that I have taken.
Okay.
The
So,
plate.
The plate. I'd like to investigate the plate.
okay.
Break it. Smash it over Leaky's head.
What does it say?
19.
19.
So I have 19 plus 1, so 20.
It
Dirty 20.
looks like a nice plate. There's no dragon motif or anything obvious like that on it, if that's what you mean.
Can I do an Arcana check on it to see if it seems to have any kind of like magical aura off of it?
Yeah, are you like walking on your patrol route, like fanning yourself with a plate?
I'm
I'm trying to figure out what is happening when you're supposed to be guarding the camp, and you're like,
like standing
plate.
next to one of the caravans, kind of, or one of the wagons, just stopping for a second and investigating this plate.
Okay, all right. So like a gold nugget, like you know.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Proceed to bite the plate for Arcana.
What is it?
6.
Plus 1, so 7.
It's a very clean plate, but it's not a magic plate.
All right.
This is not the kind of plate that would like stand up and be like, "Be our guest, be our guest."
Okay.
I don't know the rest of the song, so
Put our service to the test.
that one. So, you guys are on patrol. It's kind of hard to break away because people are going to notice if you're being weird tonight.
I'm gonna do a perception check.
Okay.
Critical fail.
All is well.
So
Yay!
we should probably all do perception checks.
Leaky, you suck at life. 20 not natural.
20 not natural. All is well.
Oh, well, that's a good sign, I suppose.
I
I would
think
like,
this is the first critical fail with the new die.
It may very well
Oh
be.
no!
Let the games begin.
one of you guys should probably, since you guys have dark vision, or at least night vision, whatever it is, head out towards the edge to go further out. I cannot. I
We'll
cannot
send
see.
Wait. Leaky has torches.
Leaky gives her a torch.
7 torches.
So I take the torch and I go more towards the outskirts of the camp
Okay.
just to do a larger perimeter.
Okay. Everybody appreciates your attention to detail.
And I would like to roll a perception check out there.
Okay.
10.
You see a deer.
Oh, that's adorable.
Deer runs away. And that's it. It's a quiet night.
Dinner!
So on day 3, you wake up to overcast weather that looks maybe like rain, but it doesn't actually rain on you. And the wagons push farther forward.
Oh, no sky bath?
No sky bath today, buddy. However,
The scratchy crab scratches.
later on in the afternoon, you see smoke coming from up ahead on the road. And you are tasked with riding up ahead to see what it is, to scout basically, because, well, you're expendable. So
Great.
you guys ride up ahead and you see a fight happening on the road.
Between who?
You see a freight wagon stranded on the road. Its horses are dead.
Oh.
And you can see that there are some people sheltered underneath the wagon. They've dragged the crates below the wheels to cover. So they've kind of turned their wagon into a fort.
Mm-hmm.
And they are fighting 6 hobgoblins.
Yay!
And a
Oh,
7th one who's sitting on a horse.
I might get a horse out of this. Yeah.
Very possible. They are managing to keep them at bay, but the goblins are rushing occasionally and forcing them, trying to basically like drain them of arrows. So how would you guys like to proceed? It's about 500 feet up the road. They don't see you coming yet.
Since
Leaky spurs his horse and charges
Are
in.
we charging in? Is that what
Apparently
I
we're
am.
not stealthing, so apparently not.
Okay. Hold on.
Well,
But if
split
you're-
off the road.
But
you
if you're
guys discuss
charging-
tactics. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I'm not very stealthy anyways, honestly, so it's not really a
I'm
good
gonna-
choice for me.
I'm gonna stealth off to the side. I'm gonna spur my horse and stealth off to the side and ready an arrow.
All right. You should
Should I pause it?
I would.
I'll just leave it. I'm just gonna do it.
you should also charge the one that has the horse
Yeah.
So that
Rip
way you
him
can
off the
rip him off
horse.
his horse.
Yeah, so I'll charge him. I'm running.
Do you have
I
rope?
think.
I have rope.
Okay, we'll use Leaky's rope. Honestly, my inventory is on my computer, which the DM is using as his thing.
Ah.
So I don't know exactly everything
Leaky,
that I
give
have.
me the rope and I'll make a thing so she can attach it to the horse.
Okay, what is the plan?
These two are charging. She's
And actually,
going.
can I jump onto Leaky's horse with him? Oh, he has a pony. Never mind, I can't
I
jump
have a
onto his
small
horse.
horse.
That would be like
That would
a
break
child
my
riding.
horse.
You
a
can get on my
tricycle.
horse with me.
Okay, so I'm going to get on the horse with Cesaria, because otherwise it's going to take me forever to get up there.
It's 500 feet. Oh yeah, I guess it would take you a long
It would
time.
take, yeah, I would get there 60 feet at a time.
Okay.
My
all right.
Clydesdale's used to this.
Okay. So we are
According-
rushing.
Yep,
Huh?
we're rushing.
We're rushing.
I am.
And
Okay.
then as
We're
soon as,
going up to the side.
So, and on my next turn, I will jump off the horse and I will charge in. And by that point, I'll be close enough to...
How fast does the horse actually travel?
We're just going to have you come crashing into combat within about 60 feet.
Oh, I was gonna trample the hobgoblins.
You can on your first turn. You've got surprise, so you can effectively cover the distance. I think a horse has 60 range.
Okay.
So unless, do you want me to look up the rules for mounted combat?
No, because I'm gonna jump right off after I trample them.
Okay. Does anybody
Jen,
else need me to
do
look
you
up the
mind
rules for
shoot-
mounted combat?
Do you mind shooting the guy on the horse?
I can.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm also gonna ready an arrow, so I can aim it. Well,
I imagine it might take me one turn to get into the battle because I'm going to be jumping off your horse and running in. Because Jen is stealthing
Well,
off to the side.
yeah. We're stealthing off to the side so that way I can shoot the hobgoblin that's on the horse.
Reasonable. Okay. So we got 6 hobgoblins, and a hobgoblin captain on horse. And you are charging in.
Yes.
All right, roll for initiative.
I get advantage on that.
Woo!
Wow.
I got a 2 because I have -1 to my initiative.
Jen got an 8.
No.
Yeah.
An 11.
For sensibility, we're going to attach Lindsey directly behind Jen.
I got
Because
a
you're
12.
physically right there.
Yeah.
So,
I got a 12.
so Leaky's got some experience fighting hobgoblins.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so the order of initiative wound up being what exactly?
I still have yet to roll my initiative because I was waiting for the girls to pull their die out of the box.
Okay. So, hobgoblin captain got 19.
I got a 23.
Leaky goes first. And then all of the other hobgoblins are below the girls. Okay. So then it ends up being Leaky, Captain Cesaria, Corey, and then all of the other hobgoblins.
Captain Cesaria?
Yes. She is on horseback.
Bow to me.
No.
Do it. Do it.
Okay.
Or we'll forever
Leaky,
make you forget about
narrate.
Flint.
You're charging in.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm charging trampoline.
You've got the fortified wagon in the middle of the road, and you've got 2 lines of 3 hobgoblins on either side, and the captain's standing off to the side directing them. They all have limited cover from the vantage of the wagon.
Is
But
the
not from
captain
where
the
you're
one
coming
on the
from.
horse?
Yes.
I'm going to trample the group of 3 on the left
Okay.
of the wagon.
And when you say trample, you're using your horse to make an attack?
Yes.
Okay.
So I kind of need the horse stats.
Oh my god, I'd love to give you a mastiff. That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
I guess.
Give him a Saint
Would be
Bernard.
a war horse, wouldn't it?
Give him.
Oh no, there's a pony. All right. Your pony can make a hooves attack. It's 2d4 plus 2, plus 4 to its strength, which is 15. So.
Do you need another D4?
Plus 4 and d4s. And if you're charging into, I'm going to give you advantage on that.
Okay.
And do we want to do roll through with this? If you hit one successfully and slam into him, you hit the next one and the next one possibly. Okay. All right. We're going to chain our attacks because I'm a generous DM. Remember that when you rattle my chains next time.
Plus 4?
Yes.
21
That hits your hobgoblin.
for 3, 4 plus 4 damage.
Yeah. 2d4 plus 4. Yeah.
8 damage.
All right. You do 8 damage to one of them. So you're going to slam onto the next one.
Yep.
Okay.
He's using his pony.
We're going to take away the advantage for the next one.
Because now they know you're here.
Yeah.
19
That's a hit, but just barely.
for 9 damage.
Wow. Okay.
Next.
Yep.
15.
Not enough to hit.
Ah.
Okay. So you did damage to 2 of them, and I guess you're hopping off.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait.
Melee attack.
No.
Hopping off his pony
10.
Gotcha. Okay.
to make sure he doesn't land
So
prone.
you land fine.
Okay.
10 is the minimum threshold.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that makes it the captain's turn. The captain is going to kick his horse.
We have surprise.
Right.
You
do.
said we had surprise.
Yes, you're correct. Okay. So that makes it Cesaria's turn. So you're galloping into with Corey at your back.
That smells delicious, Lindsay.
Your turn. You're on horseback. Kyle just
Do
did.
you want me to drop you off, like, right next to the guy so you can...
She can't hop off till it's her turn.
I know.
Unless, I guess, you shove her.
Wherever you land, as long as if you're within 30 feet, then I should be able to make it and still swing.
Not 30 feet.
No, but, like, long enough that I could ride up to the guy and just stab him with tide.
You've got a 5-foot melee range, so yeah, you could do that. You'd have to ride up point blank to him, though.
Well, I can ride up and then...
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that to this guy, to the captain.
So you're riding up to him and then past him?
I'm going to ride up to him and, like, swing my horse so that way I can grab a hold of his. With the rope that...
Oh, you're trying to
Kyle made.
grapple his horse.
Yeah. I'm just grabbing the reins out of his hands as I stab him with tide in
Okay.
the side.
All right.
Because I have to make this very difficult for you.
There's a way to do it, I'm sure.
Because we have ropes, if need be.
No.
No? Okay.
That was because Kyle was charging it over.
Over all of the
below,
children?
yeah.
Alright. Damn, I miss. Let's see. 9, 11.
Not enough.
Nope.
Sorry. Are you galloping past?
Do I have enough to at least, like, stand in front of the horse so it can't, like, stop my horse in front?
Yeah, you can. He's just going to swing at you if you do that. So.
So we'll kind of gallop past, but stay nearby so Corey can get
So you're
off.
taking your disengage.
Yep.
Alright, gotta use all those powers. Okay,
Yep.
Corey's hopping off.
Mhm.
And that makes it your turn because that's the order of initiative here.
Okay. So I'm assuming I'm tall enough to be able to hit him while standing on the ground.
Yes.
Okay.
You are a very tall individual.
I am indeed. So I am going to jump up and swing at him. And I'm also going to make a vow of enmity against him.
Fair enough.
So 25.
That's a hit.
And then I'm going to do... okay, so I'm going to do 15 damage.
Okay. Alright, that makes it Leaky's turn. Because we're returning to the top of the regular order of initiative then.
I'm going to attack with my great axe to the one that I'm closest to,
Okay.
which I believe is the one I didn't damage with the horse. 22
That's a hit.
for 9 damage.
That's not a bad hit at all.
And my second attack.
Okay.
Are you raging?
Nope.
Oh, you always have 2 attacks now?
Yes.
Yeah.
11.
Does not hit.
Okay. My second attack misses.
Okay. Alright, that makes it the captain's turn. And the captain is going to use his great sword to swing at Corey from horseback. But since you're so tall, he doesn't get a special any kind of advantage on you. Alright, if I hit you, then I'm going to deal some extra damage. Natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
So that's 5 on those. 8. So that's 13. And then he hits you, he gets his martial advantage, which is 3 additional d6. So 13,
Damn.
22 damage, plus 2.
Ouch.
23 damage.
24 damage.
So he barks at you and considers himself a worthy opponent. And that makes it Cesaria's turn.
You're squishy and he hits hard.
I know. So I'm going to stay back on my horse a little bit.
Ride away.
I'm not riding all the way away. Where's my...
The next campaign is just going to be me and Jen. We're never going to learn what happened to you two.
So I'm going to... Oh, I already disengaged. Never mind.
Yep.
So I'm going to shoot at that guy with my crossbow.
Fair enough.
You get advantage.
Yes.
And all your die.
Because he's within 5 feet of Lindsey.
So 14 is still not enough to hit him.
No, it's not. Bounces off his big shoulder plates. All right. That makes it Corey's turn. You smiting?
I get advantage. No. This is just my regular swing. So, 23.
That's enough to hit.
I'm going to re-roll both of these because I have the chance to re-roll 1s and 2s
Okay.
as my great weapons fighting.
Right.
I still got one on one of them. But, so 5, 6, plus 5 is 11. And I'm going to choose to use my... Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to sacrifice a spell slot and deal a d8 of radiant damage.
Okay.
Smite.
That one's a smite.
Shwoom.
So 6, 8, or 9 plus 5, so 14 damage.
Additional?
Just in total. In total.
So you only did 3 damage with the smite?
Yeah, I only did 3 damage with the smite.
Okay. You knock him from his horse. So you're going to make your second attack now?
I'm going to make my second attack.
Okay. So you struck him from his horse with that blow, and the horse rears its head and starts to gallop away, but you're not focused on the horse, you're focused on the captain.
Yes.
Okay.
So on this one I have a natural 20.
Okay.
So we start with 10 damage.
He's dead.
Then 7, and then 5.
Do you care to narrate that crushing, brutal blow?
After taking such a strong hit from him, Corey decided that even though he was not a worm, that she was going to crush him anyways, and decided to destroy him.
Wow. Okay.
Is the
So
horse
he's gone.
is the horse galloping anywhere near me, or did it go the other direction?
It's galloping away from you. So
Do I have to wait till my turn to go after it? Okay.
what is the past tense of smite? Is it smote or smut?
Smut.
Thought so.
I think it's smut.
That makes it the hobgoblin's turns, and you've got 3 that are near you, Leaky. Although they're all in various states of disrepair,
If
but
these
they
are
all have martial advantage.
if these are hobgoblins, aren't
Yes.
aren't hobgoblins fairly little?
They're humanoid sized.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, before I even think about going after this horse for her, is she gonna be able to ride this
Yeah,
horse?
yeah. It's a war horse.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
No
First
point of
one is going to
going
make
after a
its
pony.
longsword swing at you. Okay,
That you're not gonna be able to ride anyway.
and it rolled a 16.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, next one's going to make its longsword swing at you. It's crowding up against you, and it rolled a 23.
That's a hit.
Okay, and its damage was a 12, 14, 15.
Ouch.
And then the third one is going to fire a
Oh,
longbow
quit, you're
shot at you.
complaining. You still have 90 health.
And that was only a 17.
Nope.
Okay, so just the one blow. The other 3, 2 are going to go after Corey because she's on the ground, and another one's going to fire its longbow at Cesaria. We're going to deal with the longbow first. Okay, so longbow at Cesaria, he rolled an 8.
No.
That's not enough. Okay, and then
16.
Corey, you've got 2 that are coming up against you with their longswords.
16 or 17.
The first one was a 13.
Nope.
Nope. And the second one was a critical fail. He goes down in the mud. All right. That turns around and it makes it Leaky's turn.
Okay. Leaky's angry now.
Fair.
He's been hit.
Oh, yeah.
Rage!
Oh, Jesus.
Turn 1.
Welcome to Leakyville.
Plumbing's not good here.
Huh?
21?
Plumbing's not good here.
21's a hit.
In
4,
Leakyville?
8,
Oh,
12,
I get
14 damage.
He has been smut from the earth.
it. But boy,
Next. 15.
He's not enough to hit a hobgoblin. 18.
That's it. That's all I got.
Right. Okay. That makes it Cesaria's turn.
I'm going to ride after the warhorse.
Okay, so it's with I did the math. I counted it up here. How many seconds it would have to move away? How many chances it would have? You do it in one turn and make an animal handling check, and call him at this turn. The threshold, since it's terrified, is 15.
Yay. Fail.
Okay.
Critical fail.
All right, so it shies away from you and bolts on you again. So in the grand scheme of things, there's one hobgoblin struggling to get up from the armor. There's a hobgoblin captain whose head has been caved in from being stomped on by Worm Crusher. There's a line of mostly dead hobgoblins on the other side. The men underneath the wagon in the middle are screaming because they don't know what's going on. Leaky's steaming in the rain and is just covered in gore now. His pony is off eating wildflowers, and Cesaria is chasing another horse. As usual, it got weird. It always gets weird.
So is it like too far away now, or can I go?
You can continue to move after it, but you expended your movement here.
Yeah.
So you can continue searching
Okay.
for it, yeah. Basically, as long as you ride after it, you can keep up with it because your horse is the same class.
Yeah.
That makes it your turn. And you have
the little pony couldn't keep up.
3 hobgoblins near you, but 2 of them are physically right on top of you.
Okay, so I'm going to deal with the 2 that are physically on top of me.
Okay.
Especially now that you're raging, Leaky, I think you can handle the hobgoblins.
So that's a 23.
That's a hit.
13 damage for our first one.
That's a death blow.
Okay, and then I'm going to swing at the second one.
Okay.
This one is a 23 as well.
That's a hit.
And then I did 13 damage again.
That's a death blow.
Yes.
So Corey just halved 2 people.
Yes.
2 hobgoblins.
Good God.
Now they're half goblins.
I imagine it was one on the front swing and then one on the back swing.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go. Swing. Okay, that makes it our hobgoblins' friends' turns. One is on top of Leaky with a long sword. The other one has a long bow, but they're not close enough to get their martial advantage anymore.
Yay!
So, first one was a 14.
No.
Longbow shot was a 22.
Are they
That'll
still firing
hit.
at me?
And it does
No, it-
8 damage.
4 damage.
4 damage. You have an arrow in your chest.
He doesn't care.
Hit
Chest
one,
arrow.
it just missed one of the scratchy crabs sewn into the bear cloak.
Phew.
Not that
All right, and then
scratchy!
there's-
Do you double rage?
There's one more on Corey. And this one's got a long bow because it's the last one standing on that side. And it rolled a whopping 6. So that turns around, makes it Leaky's turn. You have two of the basic hobgoblins
Yep.
on you. Longsword and longbow.
That's a 10.
That is not a hit. Swing again.
Swing again. That's a 16.
That's not a hit. These guys are heavily armored.
Damn.
Chainmail and shield. Okay, that makes it Cesaria's turn. You're going after the horse and
Yep.
animal handling? Okay.
Wow, I suck at this. A whopping 6.
To be fair, though, it's very frightened. Okay, so Cesaria wanders farther afield. That makes it Corey's turn.
Okay.
You have 1 hobgoblin left with a longbow.
Okay, how far away is it from me?
About 15
So my
feet.
Clydesdale,
Okay, so I'm
myself
going
and
to move
I.
up to it and swing.
Myself and I, and
Reasonable.
the warhorse are out running around in the field.
27.
That's a hit. How do you even get 27?
I have +8 to my middle number, so I had a 19.
Oh my God. Well, to be fair, I've got a +8 too.
Lord.
So I ended up doing 15 damage.
Okay, that's a death blow. Corey's cleared the one side. Very efficiently. 1, 2, 3.
And that's why I figured they could handle it if I go after the horse.
Evidently. Okay, Leaky, that's your... I'm sorry, there's the 2 hobgoblins on top of you. And they're bewildered. One of them rolled a 17, and the other one rolled a 7.
No.
Okay.
My turn.
Yep.
Let's hope I can actually hit them this time. That is a critical fail.
And it starts.
How's the mud taste?
Delicious.
As you go down in the mud and you lose your second attack, you look up and you see just the whites of the eyes underneath, and they're like, "Kill them, please!" All right, Cesaria, make your animal handling check.
As Leaky's laying there, he's like, I needed a drink.
Yeah. Mushrooms.
8. We're slowly
Oh.
getting better.
We're getting better slowly. All right. Next turn, I think we'll give you. We'll lower the threshold since it has calmed down a little bit. We'll lower the threshold to like 12. Okay, Corey, your turn. Are you going to go around the wagon? Are you going to kick the wagon over and kill the innocents underneath just because you already got your blood up, or what?
I'm going to go try helping Leaky out there.
Reasonable.
So I'm going to go do that first.
Okay. Sometimes the mood is infectious and we just murder
Sometimes.
Hobo.
Sometimes we just...
We found him like this.
It happened, I don't know.
So this time it's 15.
That is not a hit.
Okay, so
These are some heavily
Right?
fortified hobgoblins.
I'm going to
on
do a
this
second
side.
roll
Okay.
for my second attack.
So, question.
Oh, critical fail.
How's the mud taste?
Like blood.
I need a lasso.
No.
That makes it the hobgoblins' turns, and you
Why?
guys are lying
You
on your
could.
butts, so I'm going to give them advantage against you.
Am I kilt up again?
Yep.
Yeah, for all these people to see. 17 on the one that attacked you, and Corey, there's one that's going to shoot a longbow at you. And it succeeds on its roll, but it only does a whopping 4 damage with an arrow.
Okay, 4 damage it is.
So, Leaky,
Would a lasso be an option?
if you have rope and can tie it while galloping after it, I suppose.
I tied it before
Oh, okay.
this hole. But
That's
would
a
that
weird
be,
thing to keep in your pack.
Well, we saw the horse when you were going to try capturing it.
Oh, okay.
so would that be dexterity?
Yeah, that'd be dexterity.
That's good for you, anyways.
Leaky, proceed.
Yay!
Yeah, because my dexterity is my modifier's +5.
That is a 15.
Not enough. It would help if you stood up
my
out of the mud.
my animal handling is only +2.
Oh yeah!
Just lashing out.
Well, I am raging, so I'm not thinking clearly.
That's true, yeah.
Do you ever think clearly?
Not with all this mud on my face.
I mean, probably sometimes.
A mud bath does not count as a bath.
13.
Not
Wow.
helping. You gotta wipe the mud. This is a mess. Thunder. Okay. Cesaria, your turn.
I'm gonna try and lassoing
Okay.
the horse, which means 16.
Okay, you have lassoed the horse.
Okay, so then I tie it around my horse so that way I'm not gonna get ripped off my
Okay.
horse.
Now, according to my elementary knowledge of horse lore, that means the horse is yours forever and it will never resist that lasso. Is that correct?
What?
I'm not a cowboy. I don't know. I'm just thinking of like Red Dead Redemption. You've caught the horse forever. Just gotta mash the button occasionally to get it to calm down. Okay.
So I'm gonna start like heading back
You're gonna
towards
start mashing the horse's button. I get it. I hear you. All right, Corey, go ahead.
All right.
feeding
so
it the apple and staying on because
So-
Minecraft saddle.
Time to start swinging. It's clobbering time. Ah, there we go. 25.
All right, that's a hit.
Good God.
And I do 14 damage on the first swing.
That's a death blow.
And then the second one.
Power of Tears with you.
25.
That's a hit.
And I do 13 damage on this
That's a
one.
death blow.
They're dead now.
Good
So as
Lord.
You're just standing there bedrecked in mud and gore, and Leaky's
I was
just
very
like
upset
staring
about
up at you wide-eyed and just
And I'm going to say, I believe that's 5 for me.
got you there.
Yeah.
6.
6?
You killed 5 of them plus the captain.
I believe that's 6 for me.
Now, Leaky, you can even it out and go kill the civilians.
Leaky's not evil.
We need to
Okay.
maintain our
He's
cover.
neutral.
I am merely presenting opportunities for character growth.
Yeah.
This is growth.
Okay. End of combat plus horse. Quickly, they outnumbered you 2-1, so that's 1,800 experience split 3 ways.
I'm 8,000 shy of 9.
So the people from down below, they come out and they're very grateful that you saved them. But they're also horrified at just the scene. They had their horses were killed, their stuff was smashed in the cart. They don't really have anything of value now because it's been ruined. And they'd like to know who you were. Who are you that saved us? Why did you fight for us?
We are guards for the caravan that is following us.
They look down the road, and I guess you can kind of see the beginnings of it. And they're like, "Wow, you were really far ahead of them, huh?"
They sent us up
Oh,
because we
okay.
saw the fire.
We saw the smoke.
That must have been the hobgoblins' camp. Do you think there's still more of them in the hills?
Possibly.
We will go ahead and check.
You guys are gonna go out and check.
I would like to go scout.
Okay.
Here, I give Corey her warhorse.
Oh, thank you. I'm on my horse. It looks like a pony as I am riding it.
Okay. So you're just riding out to check.
Yes.
Okay. So you're riding towards the black trail of smoke, and what you see is that there was a camp, but there's nobody there anymore.
Okay.
So either they saw what happened and fled, or maybe you killed them all. It's hard to tell.
I would like to do an investigation check on the camp.
Okay.
But I only got 4.
Just enough to notice a motif amongst all of the pieces and parts that were left. A couple shields and some weapons and stuff. It's all decorated with wolf heads and wolf motifs, just like the orcs or the hobgoblins that you killed back at the camp.
Okay.
So that
Yes.
must be some sort of tribal marker.
Does somebody want to do an investigation check on the goblins?
You're the only one that went.
No, I meant but back at the back where you guys are. You guys want to do the hobgoblins? See if they have
Yeah,
anything
I'm going to
useful.
investigate the bodies.
Okay.
See if there's anything useful on them. I got a 6.
more wolf stuff. You can find a couple of swords and some other decent gear, but nothing that you would want to pick up. Nothing that's particularly good or great. So,
Oy.
the captain, however, does have 14 gold pieces, and he's got 50 silver pieces.
Ooh, I'd find jack squat, because critical fail.
There's not a whole lot. These are just common brigands. So if you
us?
want the gold, you can take it. You can give it to the traders, or I don't know, you can leave it in their pockets for somebody else to find and be bewildered by.
I give it to the traders.
It's reasonable. They'll be able to buy new horses.
I feel like I shouldn't have an option considering I just probably fell on my face in the mud doing an investigation check, and now I have to get back up on my horse.
On the other side,
they're coming south. They want to know if there's an inn anytime before Baldur's Gate. Is there anything?
no.
Not that we saw, no.
It's disappointing.
So it might be that we see if we can get them to get passage with the caravan.
Yeah, but if they're going south,
They're
then we're
going the opposite direction.
I know, but safety, man.
Okay, you can bring it up.
Can we ask them what's up ahead since they're coming the opposite direction?
Yeah, you could. They say that there is not a whole lot except for the remains of another burned down inn a couple days ahead, and that's part of the reason why they're out here, was because they had to blow past that. They're running low on supplies, and they were trying to get in before the rains. But whatever that inn was, it burned down a couple seasons ago, and it hasn't been rebuilt since. So you guys are kind of in the middle, and nobody likes staying in the Fields of the Dead for very long, any longer than they have to.
Shall we go back and report to the?
Yep.
To Elkin.
She's surprised that you were able to kill that many hobgoblins all on your own, but that makes everybody feel a little happier that they've got such, profound fighters with them.
And Corey now has a horse.
Yeah, there's also an additional horse, which is always a good thing, just in case they need an extra horse at some point. So you've gained a little bit of renown with the caravan, and Bade buys everybody a drink that night.
Woo!
So.
And we asked to see if we can bring our new friends along for the ride up if they want it.
Back to where?
Back to just the ones that are stuck in the with the broken wagon, if they could travel with us.
They don't really want to go north. They're going to walk it.
Okay.
They're going to chance it. So.
They're going to hoof it.
Tish.
Okay. On days 4, 5, and 6, you go through 3 days of murky, cold weather that leave you soaked to the bone, as those rains never really end. And you roll out of the Fields of the Dead and eventually turn due north. The rains mire the road, and you spend most of your time unlodging wagons from the mud, riding or walking patrol, hunting a little bit for the group, Leaky does, and doing odd jobs that you were paid to do as guards for the caravan. There's no other sign of hobgoblins. The party is largely unperturbed. But the 7th day, the rains finally clear out, and the caravan and wagoneers spend the whole day just kind of drying out. You guys don't go very far. It's a rest day. However, as you're making camp that night, 2 women come down the road with their own, not cart, but their own,
Gear
and horses. Yeah, single mule with a small cart. They're walking on their own. And they ask if they can make camp with the caravan, and they're accepted because they don't look that dangerous. So
it's always the first mistake.
Usually, yeah. So they spend most of their time sitting at Bade's beer cart, talking to people.
I'm going to do a perception check on them.
Okay.
26.
First thing that you notice is that they are dwarvish women, and they have exquisitely oiled beards.
Leaky, if only you were straight.
These are fine specimens of women.
Of dwarvish women.
Dwarvish women.
I'm going to ask them where they came from.
Okay.
Do I need to roll anything, or?
No. They say that they came from Daggerford, and they've been traveling south to go to Baldur's Gate.
Well, seems like we're going opposites. We're coming from Baldur's Gate and heading up north.
They're really curious to know where it is that you came from. From Baldur's Gate. You don't look like you came from Baldur's Gate. It's not a whole lot of elves there.
I didn't originally come from there. I've been a wanderer, but my party and I are guarding this caravan to get it up north safely.
They get really interested in the idea of wandering, because even though they're dwarvish women, they haven't wandered very far in the world. They go between, or they say they go between Daggerford and Baldur's Gate, and they do seasonal work in both. And so one of them would like to know if you've ever seen any handsome elvish men in your travels.
I'm going to roll an insight check while they're talking and see if they're telling the truth.
Fair enough.
17.
Seems reasonable. Doesn't seem untrue.
I mean, I may have, but I've never been very interested.
They want to hear the saucy details. You may have. You don't have to be a lady. We're on the road.
Meh. Biggest thing is never been very interested in any partner. Just rather drink my beer and be by myself.
They seem really disappointed that you don't have like saucy secret stories to share.
If you want secret saucy stories, go ask that one about Flint.
They're like,
Ask him
you
about.
couldn't ask a male dwarf about that. That would be improprietous.
Hey, Leaky!
What?
These ladies want to hear some saucy stories about Flint.
Leaky runs off and sobs into a tree.
They're like, huh, that was weird. Bear hair.
Flint
I
was-
walk up and I say, why? I have seen a fine-looking elven man. Unfortunately, he is quite dead now.
They're like, but that's not a good story. That's just a horror story.
It is the story of glory. The best kind of story there is.
Flint was his lover and he died.
How did he die?
Didn't he?
In
Die?
a glorious battle.
He ended up dying holding off water cultists while we escaped.
Mm.
Okay, well, since you guys are being cagey, they move on and they try to get Elkin to talk about some saucy male dwarves. They want to talk about sauciness. And you guys are unwilling to divulge whatever it is, whatever naughty things you've done for treasure in the past. So,
On this night, I would like to check out another caravan.
okay, we
Cart.
can do that. So you're going to do your stealth checks. Are you guys running the same play where you get Leaky drunk? Or
he
are you
doesn't
going to try
need to
something?
be. He doesn't need to be drunk to be obnoxious.
I let them in on the plan this time and say, hey, guys, I'm going to check out a different one of the wagons tonight to see if there's anything suspicious in there.
AKA Leaky.
This fight?
No.
In this case,
Just yell, make lots of noise.
so I will let
If
you guys,
needed.
I will leave it up to you guys for what kind of distraction it'll be. And actually, Cesaria, would you rather go and try to stealth into the thing? Because I am not super great at that.
I can try.
Okay.
You two can fist fight. I'm real squishy.
So I think that maybe it would be great if we told some of our battle tales around the fire very loudly and verbosely.
Okay.
20 not natural to stealth into one of the caravans.
That's plenty. Okay, so while everybody else is listening to you guys one-up each other in your stories,
Jesus.
Hobgoblins are nothing. Haven't you ever tried to fight a worm?
I've taken on 12 hobgoblins and survived, including 2 ogres.
Well, at that last fight, I had 6. How many did you have?
I was having a bad day.
okay, so while they're yelling and arguing with each other, Cesaria is busy searching through one of the other caravan wagoners' cargo crates, and so his name is Nyrhite Vether. He's a human merchant, and his stuff is tamped down the same way. It's covered with the oil skin cloth, and everything's jammed together, although it's much better organized than Samardag's. So you're going to roll your investigation check here?
22.
All right, that's enough for you to note that there is not a single Dragon Cult crate in the back here, but it does look like some of the crates have been opened recently.
I want to investigate the ones that were opened recently.
Okay, they were already pried open, so
Oh,
you can
I can just pop 'em
lift-
up.
Yeah, you can pop them up. And what you see is that in the 2 that were opened recently is porcelain.
More plates and bowls?
That's what it appears to be, packed in straw.
I'm going to go further into the box.
Okay, so you're upside down in the box. And what you find is some very well-made, very non-magical plates and bowls that appear to be recently placed here.
I wonder what was... Can I do it... Would that be investigation or perception to see what was replaced with these?
Can she find any remnants of what was there before?
Maybe. That would be
Perception? Investigation or
yeah,
perception?
do investigation.
25.
At the very bottom, you find a gold chain with an emerald.
I pull it and take it out of the box
Okay.
and put it in my pocket.
And as you do that, you hear, "What are you doing?"
Who are you?
He says, "This is my wagon."
Why do you have this?
He starts crying. And just walks off into the night. You just hear him weeping from the inside of the camp. No answers.
I'm gonna stealth back out. 29 natural.
You stealth out. Everybody's busy consoling Nirehite. It says right here, if anyone spots him and points him out, he becomes unhinged in his anger and grief. He's just weeping wildly from the other side of the caravan. So, I don't know what that's about. You could put 2 and 2 together on your own, I suppose. Anyway, so you found a chain. So, the logical conclusion you could draw from this is...
Someone stole his crap.
There's a possibility.
Or somebody
yes.
is replacing or taking stuff out of these crates and replacing it with
There's
something
another
else.
possibility. Okay, so we've moved forward in the investigation a little bit. With Nirehite Verther weeping madly and Caesarea now in possession of one of the probably stolen golden chains, we're going to end the episode here because this is the end of part 1 of this travel log that I planned. Next time you're going to continue your investigation and also continue to ramble on down the road. I'm Travis, the DM.
I'm Kyle. I play Leaky, Exile of the Golden Tur Clan.
I am Jenn, and I play Caesarea, the rogue cleric that tries to keep Leaky in line and fails.
And I'm Lindsey, and I play Corey Gothakanathi, the Paladin Goliath.
Wimkrasha!
I got her a pony!
And this is it for episode 14 of the Diecast. If you like it and you're having fun with it, then leave us a review or share us or something. In some way help spread the message so that we can entertain more people because it's funny to make fun of each other. Hopefully you'll be with us again for the next episode.
Bye!
The Canon Fodder Diecast is produced and edited by Travis Knight. Intro and outro music is composed by Kevin MacLeod and used within the Creative Commons rights. The Diecast is intended for entertainment purposes only. Follow us on Twitter at CanonFodderPod for more show news, game updates, and character antics. If you enjoyed the show, please go leave us a review. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.